originality and saying what comes from the heart is different than saying something that comes from a script. Because when people say that boom bap is old, the oldest form of music we have is singing.
Yes.
And the best thing about singing that I think about now is everybody can't do that shit.
Absolutely.
And now that everybody thinks they can rap, everybody wants to do it.
Right.
So when you said you wanted to be the best, and then you went to the bricks and you met Freaka, your best was tested?
Absolutely.
How did you become better, and how did you raise your own bar to see that what your best is?
All right, well, it was like this. Initially, you know, I used to just write. I could just write 4 pages. I'll just keep going, writing. So my writing was good, but my perspective of how I was seeing the world is what helped to change my bars,
okay.
Right? So, you know, understand, live out here in Roselle, man. We had a pretty good life out here in Roselle. It was calm, and you know what I mean, we was able to do all type of stuff and ride bikes and all type of stuff. But once I got older and I went out there to understand that, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, outside of my own family experiences, but meet real people out here who was really going through real struggle and living this rap shit and really knowing what it was to live those bars that they were spitting, right? So how it was tested was, you know, I'm this dude from Roselle, and when I go out here to Newark, automatically they thinking I'm squitting. Automatically in their mind they're better just because of where they are from. You know what I'm saying? And I know this already. So I kind of come with a little chip on my shoulder because I'm ready for that, right? But I meet the brother Freaka, and at the time, you know, the brothers that, you know, I was around like, yo, man, this dude gonna get you robbed, man. You know what I mean? Don't be hanging around with this dude. He gonna get you killed, man. This and that. I'm like, man, chill. I don't know what kind of relationship you got with him, but our relationship different. So long story short is the brother Freaka started taking me through every hood, every corner of the brick, every corner, dark corner. Everywhere MCs are, we riding around in my car and we see people rocking, we jumping out the car. We jumping out, we hopping in the cypher. Everywhere we go, this all we did. All we did is just go around battling people, jumping in ciphers. And through that, just brother, you know what I mean, it was like, we would get to a cypher and we'd be there and then the brothers would be rocking and it was like I was in boot camp. Brother Freak would be like, Joker, man, yo, get him, like he was sicking me on him. Like it was so funny, but literally I really attacked him, and that was my thing. So once I started to gain my confidence up to realize that off of the top of the head I was literally sharper than these people, you know what I mean? Most of the people that I came across I was sharper than, and I don't know anybody that said they took me out. I don't know anybody that said that.
I want to ask you a question, wait, based on what you just said. See, that's the beef I have with hip hop nowadays. Because off the head, freestyle, and written are 3 different techniques. And they're very hard to master. But when people try to put them together, what they do is they dissipate the actual skill set of hip hop. Let me paint a picture for you. How do we know Egyptians were great?
How do we know?
How do we know Egyptians were great?
Well, based on what they left here, right?
And what did they leave?
What they left, one of their greatest, one of the great wonders of the world, right?
So that's something that you do with your hands. But everybody says, I don't need to write. I could just come off the top of the head, where that actually diminishes the quality of your staying power. Now, coming off the top of the head is charisma, which is a spiritual thing. And everybody now talks about the vibe. If people only focuses on the vibe, then your legacy is like tarnished. Because then as soon as somebody's just as charismatic or better, then you've forgotten.
Right.
And is that not what music is today? It's the crack game. Who got the best crack? Let me get high now,
right.
Forget that and get the next high.
Right.
So as a person who did both, what is your staying power in the culture? Is it what you wrote and how you elevate, or is it your charisma and how you inspired through elevation?
I think that what you write, right? Because it's about, we talk about making records, right? Before all this digital, it was about records. What is a record? It's something you record. It's something that is a record that you keep like a file. It is something that is forever that you can have. So when it is recorded, right, it's a record of something. Then it's substantial. It means something. It can stand the test of time, so to speak, right? So I think it's about what you, and it's all about what your content is, right? Now, my perspective on the freestyle thing is this: there are people who are great at freestyle who've never made a great album.
Facts.
Right?
Supernatural. He's one of them.
Yeah, piece of Supernatural. Yeah, he is, right? You've got people who are great at freestyle who've made multi-platinum albums. And Eminem. I'm saying.
Okay.
So, at the same time, I look at freestyle as being, like you said, a skill set. It's something that helped me to elevate my whole pen game. Because as I became sharper and wittier off the top of the head, my writing became better. I'm able to write faster. I'm sharper. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when I'm in a battle, I'm in a situation where, I'm confronted by something or whatever's going on, and my whatever I wrote might not be about this situation that I'm dealing with at the time, but because I'm sharp off the top, I can address this situation. I'm not caught off guard, so to speak. So to me, it's one of the skill sets as an MC that I wanted to hone, and I gained that skill by going where I was going, and my skill set was constantly tested because the Bricks is where the nicest MCs in New Jersey are. Sorry, peace to everywhere else who spit, but the Bricks is where it is, and that's where I went. And so when you talk about hip hop and you start talking about the history of hip hop, you're gonna speak about Essex County. You're gonna spit about Newark. You're gonna talk about Queen Latifah and Naughty and all of the people that we know about, the Lords. All of these brothers, the Artifacts. You know what I mean? You're gonna speak and think about Redman. Like, okay, out here we got what's my man who did Follow Me? My man
Alias?
Nah. Yeah.
Alias.
So that's Linden, you know what I mean? But like from a hip hop perspective, we have to stay in that zone. So my whole thing was I wanted to open the door because there's a lot of dope MCs out here in Union County. You know what I'm saying? Peace to Ayak, you know what I mean? Peace to all my brothers out there, Twiz Low, Sun Low, my brothers from out here. You know what I mean? Like, but that is people who are keeping in touch with the culture of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And so, even just to touch back on something else, like when you're talking about, style and this and that, like those Ayak brothers are, you know what I'm saying, some of the stylers out here. Those are the ones, those is the fashion dudes, you know what I'm saying, out here.
Nice.
In Roselle, you know what I mean? You gonna see them low down. Wherever you see them, you gonna always see them low down, you know what I mean? That's how we roll. It's not just a New York thing or whatever, you know what I mean? It's really a movement of a lot of low heads and people that really, really love that, you know what I mean, this particular brand. But outside of that though, man, I really think that this particular time for us as MCs and where we've come to from where we were back in the 90s, man, it's a time for us to see things differently, because we were talking about a lot of stuff that right now is we're grown men and we have children and some brothers have grandchildren. A lot of that was some bullshit, right? So we got to get on a different path, because you see what we produce now with these young brothers. Like, we got young brothers who are super talented out here right now, super talented. But if you watch them on the drill rap, they talking about killing each other and they doing it. You know what I mean? But where does that come from? Where does that come from? What is that all about? Y'all can't even be in your own city like me right now and enjoy yourself. even though you famous, even though you got money, because somebody might come by, all because of this rap thing though. This rap thing. So how we using this tool now, as opposed to how we began using the tool, is the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I want to ask you a question. I want to get your perspective on life, and I'm going to give you mine, if you don't mind.
All right.
What are the three most powerful things or elements of life that a man what are the three most powerful elements of life that a man experiences in his development? There's three things, in my opinion, that rules a man's life. What do you think they are?
Well, from my perspective, love, right?
Okay.
Okay, so the things that you love definitely rule your life, right?
Love, okay.
All right.
Number two?
It builds me into the next thing. What you aspire at or desire.
Goals and dreams.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I think I want to say happiness, you know what I'm saying? That's
emotions.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what you feel.
Okay. So love, dreams and goals, and emotions. Okay. This is what I think. I think the most powerful things a man experiences in his development throughout life are women, his tongue, and his thoughts.
Okay.
They kind of go together with what you said. Because if we look spiritually, there was a king who asked his advisors, what's the most powerful thing in the kingdom? Right. One guy said money, but you could lose money. Another guy said, well, the king himself, but the king could die. And the last man said the queen, because she's the only person who could take your crown off and smack you in the face and you won't kill her. So women have a very strong pull to how a man reacts, right? Your tongue is the second one for me because, like you just said, you can speak life or death into your life.
Absolutely.
You can speak yourself into trouble or out of trouble.
Absolutely.
So you have to watch who you are interested in. You have to watch what you say.
That's right.
But a man's heart, emotions, are dependent upon his thoughts. Because Henry Ford said this, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right either way.
Absolutely.
Because you believe it.
That's right.
So that's why people like you, I think, don't get the fair share of integrity when it comes to American culture, education, and manhood, is because MCs and hood dudes who are MCs or live the hip hop culture, y'all represent the one thing that every black man does not have, and that's an emotional, mental outlet to their emotions.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about the young cat who's out here killing themselves or getting others killed because of their music, once again it goes into people not in control of their emotions, their interests, their goals, their tongue, their thoughts.
Right.
It all leads back to girls somehow. Okay? So my last question on this part is this. If we know that, and we complain, the best lesson a man can ever teach is not with his mouth, is with his actions. What can we show to elevate the new hip-hop generation that they'll catch on, if not now or immediately, if not soon, but later?
Well, I think that ultimately, man, it's respect, right? See, respect is what's missing. When we show each other respect, you know what I'm saying, then we can actually be the teacher. So we can't say something and not actually do it, right? And tell you to do something and not actually do it myself. So I think the one thing that we can do is to begin to respect each other. Like, this is a culture of people who are artists. We're all artists. We have some different ways that we want to express ourselves, but I think that the way that we express ourselves has to be positive, so to speak. Now, nothing is 100% positive, right? We have fun, we say silly shit, stupid shit, but that's something else. When we're talking about real things and real issues, like our future, our children, we need to be more serious about it. We need to understand that everything that is being said is not necessary to be said. You know what I'm saying? The most powerful thing is silence. You understand? Like, in certain situations, it's more powerful to say nothing than to say something. So everybody right now wants to be a savage. We the civilized, we are the original man. we are the original civilization, and now we want to be, savage. So I think that respect is the main thing that we want to. Respect is the main thing that we want to make sure that we teach these younger brothers and show them respect too. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear a lot of dudes say, the garbage, music is garbage, music is trash, so to speak, like that. But that's not necessarily it all the time. Some of it is garbage, some of it is trash. But then there's some other really talented brothers out here, you know what I'm saying, that they get lumped into that somewhere. So I think that we need to have that respect for those brothers, so that they can have the respect for us. But you have to look at, how the young, let's say, genre of music, like rock music or country music. Do you see any of these newer, younger artists that come out today disrespect those other generations? That doesn't happen. You don't see them dissing, Iron Maiden, whoever these older groups are, when they want to come out and they go on tour and they 75 and 80 years old and they still fill up a whole stadium and can make their money. But younger generation want to throw dirt on the older rap dudes who pioneered this for them, instead of holding it up and being proud of that culture. It's like, oh, you're whack, you're old, you didn't make that much money, I'm making more money than you, as opposed to just having that same type of love and respect to continue to push the whole culture of hip-hop forward. You know what I mean? So those of us who rocking in the underground, who trying to stay entrenched in the culture, you know what I'm saying? Peace to all of us, peace to all of y'all. Or for those brothers who are mainstream, who are still doing their thing in the culture, peace to all of y'all. But we all one real community at the end of the day, and we need to have the right message so that we can make sure that the culture moves in a more positive direction, since we've been moving backwards.
Thank you for watching our presentation. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube family and hit the notification bell for updates. Please like, comment, and share this video.